Hi guys, John, Common Sense Outdoors. Just did a video right here in this same spot, and I touched on stop and panic a little bit. I wanted to talk more. Excuse me. I wanted to talk more about what you're trying to survive from in a survival scenario, or more to the point, what can kill you in a survival situation. Now, actually have a piece of paper. I wrote some notes down just to make sure I get everything I want to say into this video. Everybody knows the common things that can kill you in a survival scenario, like dehydration, heat stroke, hypothermia, if it goes long-term, starvation, any kind of shock from a snake bite, something like that. Those are pretty common and most people already know about those. There is a few things, in my opinion, that nobody talks about that can kill you. The first two kind of go hand in hand, and that's panic and fear. If you're in the woods and as soon as you start to realize that you were lost, you're gonna panic and you're gonna start to get scared. It's how well you can control that and stop and slow yourself down and think your way out of it that's gonna make a huge difference. As soon as you panic, you're gonna speed up. So here you are wandering in the woods trying to find your direction, and now you've sped up. That's the exact opposite of what you should have done, but you will. If you get turned around in the woods and start to freak, oh my gosh, I'm not sure where I am, you're going to speed up. You're going to start walking that direction faster. Oh, this doesn't look right, and you're going to start walking that direction faster. You panic, you start to get scared. Panic and fear, the two of them combined, bad decisions come from those two things. As soon as you start making bad decisions, you're putting yourself in a worse situation. It's just, you have to have the right mindset, and this is where, first let me talk about the third one, and that is shame. Why shame? Here's what I think about it. There's been a lot of people, a lot of outdoors people found dead sitting next to a tree. If they were outdoors people, in other words, they had a pretty good idea of how to handle themselves in the woods, why were they found dead sitting next to a tree? My opinion is, in that situation, it is possible for somebody that knows what they're doing to get in a scenario where they just think to themselves, how did this happen? How did I get myself into this situation? And they're so distraught about the situation they're in, they basically sit down next to a tree and give up. If you sit down next to a tree and give up, you will die. So panic, fear, and shame, in my opinion, are just as big a killers, if not worse, than the normal dehydration, heat stroke, starvation, shock, hypothermia. If I was out in the woods and got lost and it was 80-degree high and 60-degree lows at night, I wouldn't have to worry about all those other things very much. If I could find water in that same scenario, I wouldn't have to worry about hardly anything for days. But the panic, fear, and shame, you always have to pay attention to. You always have to worry about. Now, how do you avoid those three things? having the knowledge and skills to know what to do in that scenario, having a few survival items with you for that scenario, and having the right attitude for that scenario keeps you from doing all three of those things. When I set up my trash bag shelter, and I basically went through what to do once you become lost in the woods or in a survival situation by your shelter and your fire pit and all that, once I set up that scenario, at some point I said, basically now at this point I'm just camping. I have shelter, I have fire, I have a way to boil water, I have a way to cook. I'm just camping. If you have that attitude, that once you get to that point and you know how to get to that point, you have what you need to get to that point, that you're just in the woods camping and you're not freaking out that you're never going to get found, you have the right attitude to avoid those three things I'm talking about. If you can do those things and you have that attitude, the majority of people that are lost in the woods, if somebody has a general idea of where they are found within 72 hours. That's why you hear so much about a 72-hour scenario. Most people are found within 72 hours. There is exceptions, especially if you weren't expected back for 4 or 5 days. Then you have to add that to your 72 hours. But anyway, I wanted to throw that out there. It's something that I believe in, so let me know what you think, guys. I'm not trying to push my thoughts on anybody. You can disagree with me if you want to. It's just, I think those three things could actually kill you faster than some of the normal things that everybody knows about. And that's why we make these videos, and that's why we try to teach each other these skills and this knowledge and the items you should have for this scenario. If you have all that, if you have that knowledge and those items and the skills, you don't have to worry about what I'm talking about. If you can have the right attitude with that group of stuff. So, like, comment, subscribe. More videos coming to you soon. Thanks for watching, guys.